Number 3, meron tayong given na T1 100 degree 100 Fahrenheit, T1 14 PSI, RK 7, yung K natin is 1.4, T3 3000 Fahrenheit. So yung hinahanap is QA, network, yung E, tsaka yung P3, tsaka T4. Kunin natin yung P2. So P1 equals RK raised to K equals 14 PSI times 7 raised to 1.4. So P2 is 213.435 PSI. So yung T2 naman, T1 over T2 equals P1 over P2 raised to K minus 1 over K. So T1 is 560 plus 460, kaya siya naging 560 over T2 equals P1 14 PSI and P2 213.435 PSI raised to 0.4 over 1.4. So T2 is 1219.63 degree Rankine. T4 na kukunin na yung T3 over T4 equals V3 over B4 raised to 1 minus K para sa ating T4. Yung V3 over B4 pwede siyang gawing 1 over RK since wala tayong V3 and tsaka B4. 3,460 over T4 equals 1 over RK 7 raised to 1 minus 1.4. So T4 is equals to 1588.68 degree Rankine. So, P3 naman, may formula tayo na P2 over T2 equals P3 over T3. 213.435 PSI over T2 1219.63 degree Rankine equals P3 over T3 3,460 degree Rankine. So P3 is equals to 605.50 PSI. So QA na yung QA naman. MCV times T3 minus T2. Kunin muna natin yung CV. R over K minus 1 equals 53.35 pound force fit over pound mass degree Rankine over 1.4 minus 1 equals 0.1714 BTU pound mass degree Rankine. So kunin na natin yung QA. One times 0.174 BTU per pound mass degree Rankine times 3,460 degree Rankine minus 1,219.63 degree Rankine. So equals 383.8 9994. So, yun na yung QA. Sa network naman, E times QA equals yung E natin is 0.5408 times yung QA 384. So 207.67 BTU per pound mass. Sa E naman, E equals to 1 minus 1 over RK raised to K minus 1. So 1 minus 1 minus 1 over 7 yung RK natin raised to 1.4 minus 1. So equals 0.5408 times 100 para makuha yung percentage. 54.08%. Problem number 4. Yung given is RK 7.1, QA 320 BTU per pound, P1 14.7 PSI, T1 60 degree Fahrenheit plus 460 equals 520 degree Rankine. K is 1.4. Yung hinahanap is T, P, tsaka yung work net, tsaka yung E. So, kunin natin yung T2. T2 over T1 over T2 equals V1 over V2 raised to 1 minus K. So, T1 520 over T2 equals 7.1 raised to 1 minus 1.4. So, T2 is 1138.955 degree Rankine. So, P2 naman, P2 is equals to P1 times RK raised to K. P2 equals 14.17 times 7.1 raised to 1.4. P2 natin is 228.601 PSIA. So, kunin na natin yung T3. QA equals MCV times T3 minus T2. Kunin muna natin yung CV. R over K minus 1. So, 53.35 feet-pound force over pound mass Rankine times 1 BTU is equals to 778 pound force per feet over 1.4 minus 1 equals 0.1714 BTU per pound mass degree per pound mass degree Rankine. So 320 BTU per pound equals 1 times 0.174 BTU per pound mass Rankine times T3 minus 1138.955 degree Rankine. So, T3 natin is 3005.93 degree Rankine. So, ang P3 naman, P2 over T2 equals P3 over T3. So, P2 is 228.601 over 1,138.955 equals P3 over 3,005.93. So, answer 603.32 PSI. So, dito na yung E naman. Formula 1 minus 1 over RK raised to K minus 1. 1 minus 1 over RK 7.1. Tapos yung K 1.4 minus 1. So, yung E natin is 0.5434 times 100 para dun sa percentage. 54.34%. So, sa network naman, C times QA. Yan. Tapos yung C natin, 0.5434. Tapos yung QA is 320. So, yung answer is 173.89 BTU per pound mass. Problem number 5. Given P1 14.5 PSI, T1 80 degrees Fahrenheit, QA is 370 BTU per pound mass, T3 3,400 degree Rankine, yung K is 1.4 CV, 0.172 BTU per pound mass Rankine. So, yung hinahanap, T, yung P, V, RK, E, tsaka yung PM. So, kunin natin yung B4. B4 equals V1. B4 equals P1 times V1 equals MR T1. 14.5 PSI V1 equals 1 times 53.35 times 540. 540. V1 equals 1 pound mass times 53.35 fit pound force over pound mass Rankine times 540 degree Rankine over 14.5 pound force per square inches. So, B1 equals 13. B4 equals, so V1 equals 13.797 cubic feet. So, T2 QA equals MCV T3 minus T2. 370 BTU per pound mass equals 1 times 0.172 BTU per pound mass Rankine times 3,400 minus T2. So, T2 is 1,248.837 degree Rankine. So, sa E, kunin natin yung E. Formula 1 minus 1 over RK, K minus 1. Kunin natin yung RK. T1 over T2 equals V1 over V2 raised to 1 minus K. 540 degree Rankine over 1248.837 degree Rankine equals 13.797 over yung V2 raised to 1 minus 1.4. So V2 1.696 cubic feet yung RK V1 over V2 so equals 13.797 cubic feet over yung V2 1.696 cubic feet. So answer is 8.135. Yung PM, yung formula is work net over VD E times QA over V1 minus V2. Substitute natin. 0.5676 times 370 over 13.797 minus 1.696. So, yung answer is 93.765 PSI per pound mass. Sa E naman, 1 minus 1 over 8.315 1.4 minus 1 equals 0.5676 times 100 56.76%. Problem number 6. Given P1 equals 15 psi, T1 70 degree Fahrenheit, V1 13.08 cubic feet, T3 2,104 degrees Fahrenheit, QA is 342 BTU, hinahanap is T2. So QA, formula QA equals MCV times T3 minus T2. So CV, kunin natin yung CV, equals R over K minus 1. So equals 53.35 feet pound force over pound mass Rankine times 1 BTU is equals to 773 feet pound force over 1.4 minus 1. So answer is 0.1714 BTU per pound mass Rankine. So mass naman. Formula P times P1 times B1 over RT1. So 15 PSI times 13.08 cubic feet over 53.35 feet pound force over pound mass Rankine times 530 degrees Rankine. So para ma-cancel yung ating feet tsaka yung inches, yung ating feet, yung PSIA equivalent siya sa pound force over inches squared, and then yung 144 inches squared is equals to 1 square feet. So Yung answer is 0.9992 pound mass. So, i-substitute na natin yung mga values. 372 BTU equals yung mass natin 0.992 pound mass, and yung CV 0.174 0.1714 BTU per pound mass Rankine times 3,264 degree Rankine minus T2. So T2 is equals to 1091.90 degree Rankine. Problem number 7. Given is T3 equals 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit. So plus 460 degree Rankine, magiging siyang 3,060 degree Rankine. So T4 833 degree Fahrenheit. Same lang siya. So 1,343 degree Rankine. So K is 1.4. T3 over T4. Yung required is yung RK. T3 over T4 equals 1 over RK raised to 1 minus K. So T3, 3,060 over 1,343 equals 1 over RK raised to 1 minus 1.4. So RK is 7.836.